Okay. This section is also included, so we'll mark this off. And this one too. There we go. So these are the main areas that will be covered in your next exam. It looks like your professor noted down all the topics that it will be pulling from, so right now I'm just noting down the chapters of your textbook that we will be going through. Oh, sure. Let me move my chair a little closer to you so you can see it better. It's probably a good idea to work like this anyway, so that we can keep our voices down. I'd prefer not to disturb the other people studying and working around us. You know, I've actually never done this in the library before, so that didn't occur to me until now. Well, I've tutored people, but I usually manage to secure a study room. But for some reason it's... Hold on. For some reason it's very much packed today, conveniently. Yeah, I've been working as a tutor for a little over a year now. I've helped friends here and there before, so I had some experience teaching prior to this. And, well, I saw that there was an official program managed by the university that was hiring, so I thought, why not? And, well, here I am. It's comfortable work, and I don't have to leave campus, so can't really complain. But yeah, I'm not used to doing this in the library, though. Whenever I am here, I'm usually just studying by myself. Right, so, as I was saying, we should have just enough time if you divide the sections up like this. And we'll work our way from the top to make sure that you thoroughly understand all the material. Does that sound good to you? Hey, what are you looking at me for? Let's focus and pay attention to the notes in front of you. Good. Now, I don't exactly condone teaching to the test, but given that you're short on time before your exam, we don't really have much of a choice today. But next time, on the exam after, I want you to make sure to come by the tutoring center to get an early start. Believe me, you'll have a much better understanding of the material if you don't force yourself to learn everything all at once. So, let's start here, if you're ready. My handwriting? Thanks. I end up having to take a lot of notes for my classes, so I guess I've had practice through that. Your handwriting is very nice as well. I think there's a charm to it. Really, I like it. But let's focus. I have a busy schedule, and I know you're in a rush as well, so I'm sure neither of us wants to waste time getting sidetracked. Good. Now, why don't you go ahead and skim over this page first for me, and then it'll be a good idea to tackle the areas that you're struggling with the most. Read that for me. In your head or out loud works. I find that it's best to get the more difficult topics out of the way first, and then at the very end, you can revisit the things you're already familiar with, just to make sure you don't miss anything. Yeah, sometimes people can end up wasting time going over the material that they already understand because it's, well, the most comfortable to them. So they end up getting a false sense of accomplishment when really they're not learning anything new, but they're just repeating information that they already know. Not the most productive use of time in scenarios like that. Oh, no, I mean in general. I have no idea what your study habits are like. I mean, we just met today, so... Sorry, I hope that didn't sound like I was making any assumptions about you. I know I can ramble on sometimes, so if you don't stop me... but you can tell me if you ever catch me doing that. No, it's completely fine with me. I know we're basically strangers still, but I'm giving you the okay to if you ever need to bring me back on track. Because it's your time today. Huh? You don't mind hearing my talk, though? I'm not sure what that means, but thanks. This section? Okay, yeah, let's take a look at this then. Sorry. Got distracted for a second. Nothing, it's not important. So, this is discussing the concept of a person's total daily energy expenditure, or more commonly, this is shortened to TDEE. Alright. And this is a combination of a person's basal metabolic rate, or BMR for short, which will be calculated using this formula. The formula incorporates different factors like the person's age, weight, and height, in addition to a base number here. This is then multiplied by a ratio based on their physical activity factor, which is determined by, daily estimated activity. And this factor goes up the higher a person's daily activity level is, and you take this and this, these two together, and that gives you their TDEE. Does that make sense so far? Right, so, yeah, it's like energy used each day. Each person is unique, so this is just a general approximation. Of course, there can be more accurate ways to track this for an individual, but this is, well, you can think of it as a compromise, you could say. That provides you with an estimation you can do easily without needing too much data or testing. Got that? Alright, very good. That's what I want to hear. You think it's because I'm a good tutor? Thanks. I wasn't too sure if that was the case at first, because you seemed kind of quiet through all of that, so I thought maybe you were feeling distracted. Yeah, I was perhaps getting a little worried about the effectiveness of my teaching methodology, so it's reassuring to hear. You want a second session already? Yeah, we could make arrangements for something like that. I wouldn't mind doing another tutoring session with you. Hopefully we can get a study room next time so we don't have to worry about disturbing others. For now though, let's focus on working through our first time together. Like our first study session together. Yeah, let's try some examples as practice now, since these types of questions will basically ask you to do some calculations afterward. So, here's what I'm thinking we're gonna be doing for the rest of our time together today. I will briefly touch on each section, and you let me know if it's already familiar to you or if it's something you need clarification with. And if it's the latter, then we will block out some time to study the concepts. After that, we will make use of some of these example questions, meaning that we'll go over one together, and then I want you to take what we learned and try it on your own. It's okay if you make mistakes. That's what studying is for, so you can practice and learn if you get something wrong the first time. There's no judgment here. Alright, let's give it a try then. Here, why don't you take a look at this next question, and we'll work through it together first. Yes, I will be right here if you need anything from me. Alright, give it a try. You can do it. Yeah, that's perfect. And so we can determine the person being assessed is likely deficient in iron based on the information provided in this question. Good job. See? You're getting the hang of it. Sorry. I didn't mean to cover the words. Here, I'll move my hand out of the way for you. No, I'm okay. I was just a little caught off guard. Could have asked me to move it. It's okay. Anyway, what would be the solution in this situation? Right, a supplement would be the easiest and most straightforward answer, and in some situations this may be part of the treatment, but whenever you can, you always want to have a mix between the two, sourcing nutrients from food sources whenever possible, because most nutrients are absorbed by the body better when combined with food. Again, though, most people do have different circumstances, so in a real life case, you would do your best to meet each client where they're able to. Now, some of the foods that you could recommend in this scenario that are rich in iron include things like, most people think of beef, your red meats. It can also be obtained from many plant sources as well. There are your leafy greens like chard or spinach works too. There are also legumes as an option, like different beans, lentils, and chickpeas. A lot of foods are also fortified with iron as well as other vitamins and minerals. This basically means that a food has had certain nutrients added in that didn't naturally exist in the food. And you'll see this often in things like cereals, breads, and other processed foods. There are usually multiple solutions with issues like this, and in practice, your job would be to find the answer that fits into a client's needs and dietary habits the best with the least resistance. It's not just about dropping them a list of foods that could help bring their iron up, but it's more about finding foods that work for them, because there's really no point in listing things out if it's not something they normally eat or want to eat. Giving them the best chance to succeed is part of the work, okay? Good. So, there are really a variety of options you can use depending on a person's food preferences. You won't be expected to memorize everything, but just have a general idea of the common foods related to each nutrient. You're getting it? That's good. Here, there's also a sort of cheat sheet that you can refer to when studying that I wanted to mention. This has different vitamins and nutrients and some examples of good food sources for each one. It's quite thorough and detailed for sure. It can be difficult trying to memorize all of it, but that's why we break up the learning into more manageable parts. It's hard, yeah. I know, but I'm sure you can handle it. Well, I'm basing this from our first time together, yeah. Even from that, though, I think I can tell. It's more about making it a habit to study every day. You're bad at maintaining them, though? Yeah, it can be tough. I guess you could use an app or ask one of your friends to help keep you accountable. Maybe they can text you to check up on how you're doing. Could I do that for you? What? You mean like me texting you to make sure you're on top of your studies? I mean, yeah, I suppose if I continue to tutor you regularly, that would be fine to make sure you're on top of your coursework. Oh, you mean like you're asking for my number right now? Okay, yeah, that's fine by me. I mean, I did offer if you're planning to request for me again. Here you go. I'm just a little surprised. I must be making a really good impression as your tutor if you're so certain that you want to see me again already. I mean, you're not even finished seeing me now. It's because of the tutoring and some other things? Like what? I'm cute. Wait, huh? I mean, yeah, I did ask what your other reasons were, but I didn't expect you to just say it outright. Thanks. But that's not really what we should be focusing on, especially right now and in a place like the library. I don't think it really matters how I feel about it, but maybe we can talk about it another time. I mean, right now I'm your tutor, and I think it's best if we remain professional about things, because that's what we came here to do today. To study. Again, I would welcome you to continue this discussion some other time when we're not in the middle of your session, but right now, I'm supposed to be helping you. Your hand is, I'm not sure if you're being intentional, but it's on my leg right now. Could you, move it a little somewhere else? somewhat distracting. No, not higher, that's not what I meant at all. Because then you'll be right up against it. And your hand is... Look, there's a time and place for things, and now is certainly not the... Yes, I can feel it on my thigh. I know what you're trying to do, and I'd rather not say anything to encourage you. Come on, I'm here to tutor you, so... No, we shouldn't be doing this. I already told you that I'm technically working right now, and I would not be a very good tutor if I encouraged this kind of behavior.